Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. Today I have a scrapbook layout featuring the Hillside Cottage collection from Close to My Heart. Now this paper is super cute with the little fox and the daisies and the goose on there. It reminds me of kind of like a storybook idea. There is some pre-printed background pages in here that you can do some really neat stuff with. And to be honest, I wasn't sure about this paprika check, but there's always this soft flamingo pink on the opposite side. I like the paprika check, but I don't know if I like it with this collection. I also got the Picture My Life pocket cards here, and I love to use these on my scrapbook layouts. There is the coordinating sticker sheet that has lots of title options and cute little gardening elements. It's hard to see, but there's a porch swing on there. So cute. I have these two photos of my niece, Maddie, and she's sitting at her desk writing, and the yellow in the flowers and the paprika color of her sweater and the blue in the windows, it's just like the perfect color palette. I'm starting with my VersaMat and a sheet of white daisy cardstock here. And I know I want my photos oriented right next to each other, and I thought I was going to bring in this background paper. Now, when you have a really busy pattern paper like this, I tend to kind of narrow it down and just use a little bit. I'm measuring on the grid lines at the top of the mat, and I'm going to cut like a 4-inch piece of this pattern paper here. I like this bluebell pattern paper. This is the back side of that green sheet. So I'm going to tuck this right under and use that to be the mat for my photos. Now they're a little bit lost, so I'm going to bring in a piece of paprika cardstock from the coordinating cardstock collection, and it still needs something. So I thought maybe I'll take a photo and mat it on white to see if that makes a big difference. And let's see here, I just want a teeny tiny white border, and that totally makes a huge difference in making that photo pop. Usually I print my pictures with a white margin, but for some reason I didn't. So I went ahead and got both of those matted, and I'm switching my little black pattern paper border strip to the opposite side. There's this Picture My Life card that says every family has its story, and I want to use that for my title element. Just to add a little bit of character, I'm going to cut it out with this thin cut die. I use this a ton in card making, but I actually use it quite a bit in my scrapbooking as well. It just adds a lot of character and interest to an ordinary rectangle. I cut these two border strips from the top of the pattern papers. They're kind of the branding strip. In Close to My Heart world, we call them zip strips. And on one side's the information of the paper pack, and the other is this fun pattern. So I'm using those to border the top and bottom of my pattern paper there. And now from the coordinating sticker sheet, I pulled off stickers that I thought I wanted to use. I took my anti-static pouch, removed the adhesive, so now they're like die cuts that I can move around or pop up with dimensional foam if I want. Because I have that yellow in the title, I want to draw your eye up to the top, so I'm going to repeat that yellow color. I was having a hard time getting my papers up, so I'm using my little Cricut spatula to slide that underneath. And then this house, I'm going to overlap right on top. I think that's pretty cute. And this little fox, I think I'm going to put him down here, but I'm not 100% sure yet. You're probably wondering why a fox. Well, I don't think that embellishments have to be literal, but it does make sense, which I'll explain here in just a moment. I'm showing you that they do have the Hillside Cottage Woden Shapes. For some reason, I just forgot to order those, so I'm adding that same wooden texture and wooden element in with these hearts. And I love how we have the open kind of outside portion of the heart as well as the inside, and you can mix and match those. So I want to add a little bit of journaling down in that white space in the bottom. So I'm flipping through the pocket cards to see if there's any journaling cards that will work. So I'm looking, there's a smaller size as well as this larger 4x6. And what's nice is they have them in horizontal on one side and vertical on the other. So depending on your orientation, you have different choices. I like the way this one looks, but I'm thinking I might want to cut it down. I'm trying this one, but I think those flowers look funny next to the other border flowers. So I am going to grab my little Fiskars photo trimmer and actually cut these strips out. I'm leaving the little blue line intact just because I think that'll add a little something and plus help keep my writing straight when I'm writing on these journaling strips. Normally I like to print them out on the printer and cut them out, but I thought, you know, maybe it's nice to add a little bit of my handwriting and use up this pocket card as well. Plus that little element on the top there, that little flower swag, I want to fussy cut that out and use it as an embellishment. So I'm going to make sure that the blue line is down, and I know it's hard to see, but there is a soft blue line on each one of those rows. I don't know if I'll need all of these strips, but I'm just going to kind of place them here for a visual, and then I'll come back and write on them in just a moment. And like I said, I want to fussy cut this little element out. So I'm going to grab my micro tip scissors. I've sped this up quite a bit, and I'm just going around the edge, moving the paper more than I move my scissors. And that helps you get nice, smooth, rounded lines. Every once in a while, I get a little bit too much paper in my way, and I'll just kind of cut that off and get it out of the way like you see there, and then go back to fussy cutting around the image. There are a lot of different embellishments on these pocket cards that can be used when you fussy cut them out, and so this is something I like to do often. I think this will look cute right under the title here, just kind of adding a little extra something to that area. And then I am going to have this little fox character here. I pulled a few more stickers off the coordinating sticker sheet. This one says True Story. It's a cute little tag, and then there's this little yellow flower, and I'll just put that overlapping the house there. And I'm going to journal about how my niece loves to write stories, and I love her creativity, and she's written some really neat stories that she has shared with me over the years. And I like the fox on there because it kind of reminds me of, like I said in the beginning, a storybook character, kind of like a fable. There's always like the cunning fox, and so it just makes sense in my mind. Again, embellishments don't have to be literal, but it's always nice when they do work to tell the story behind the photos. So I got all of my journaling down, and then I decided I absolutely didn't like it. I know, crazy. I just did all this work, and I don't like it. So I'm lifting those up with my spatula, and I have all the little marks from my Y's and my G's. So I have to cover that up. So I printed my journaling on a piece of white daisy cardstock, and I cut it to fit in that corner. And now with this little zip strip overlapping it, you will never know it's a separate piece of paper tucked in there. I'll sneak some adhesive tape runner underneath the corners here and get those secured. And then, like I said, we'll use this little zip strip to camouflage the division in the paper, and it's perfect. Well, I don't know about perfect, but I like it better than the large handwritten journaling that I had just a moment ago. I think this looks nice and tidy, and she's typing, so to me it like goes even more with that story writing. You know, she's typing on her laptop, so I like the way that looks. I'm adding a little dot here to the top of this tag because it's just an empty hole. So I grabbed my Daisy Meadow enamel dots, and I picked a yellow one. And I'm thinking I want to add a little bit more black. So they have these Sequins black little starburst, and I thought, ooh, that'll look nice. So I'm adding just a couple in this top cluster here. And then I'm thinking maybe down on the left around this little flower. Or not flower, heart. So I'm just kind of messing around with the placement of those, and I like them there. Black splatters would look nice too, but I should have done that before I laid everything down. So I'm tucking a few around the fox, but I don't know if I like those. Maybe that was too many. That kind of, for a second, look like little black spiders on the page. So they're not. They're cute little flowers. But here's the finished layout, and I like the way it came together. And I think that background pattern paper is really fun with those little characters on there, the little goose. It's kind of like a Scandinavian folk art look, which is super popular right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are inspired. I will have some more layouts featuring this collection coming up soon. But for now, here's another video I think you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.